What if I told you that the first words you speak in the morning could change the course of your entire day? That before the world even has a chance to speak, before the worries, the doubts, or the distractions creep in, you have the power to set the direction of your life. Every morning you are given a gift, a new beginning, a blank page waiting to be written. But what will you write? Will you let the weight of yesterday dictate today? Will you let fear decide your next steps? Or will you rise and declare the truth? Because whether you realize it or not, the morning is more than just the start of a new day. It is a battleground, and the first words you choose, the first thoughts you embrace, will determine whether you walk in victory or struggle under the weight of doubt. So what if you could speak life, strength, and purpose into your day before it even begins? What if you could remind yourself of who you truly are, why you are here, and what you are meant to do? This morning and every morning after, you must speak first. Here's what you must say. When you wake up in the morning, before the thoughts of yesterday creep in, before the demands of the day flood your mind, you must remind yourself of one powerful truth. I am here for a reason. This is not just a phrase to make yourself feel good, not just an empty affirmation, but a reality that changes the way you live. The very fact that you opened your eyes this morning means that your presence on this earth is still necessary. If there were no purpose left in you, you would not be here. Yet, you are. And that alone is proof that there is still something you are meant to do, something you are meant to fulfill, something that cannot be done without you. It is easy to go through life feeling like just another face in the crowd, like your existence is small, insignificant, unnoticed. The world is filled with billions of people, each living their own lives, each facing their own struggles. You may look at your own life and wonder if anything you do truly matters. You may wonder if your work, your relationships, your daily routines have any meaning at all. But that is a lie. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every interaction you have sends ripples into the world in ways you may never fully understand. Imagine a great masterpiece, a painting crafted by the hands of a master artist. Every single color, every detail, every brushstroke is placed intentionally, forming a picture that is complete and whole. Now imagine that one single brushstroke was removed. To the untrained eye, it might not seem like a big deal. It might look like just a small, insignificant detail. But to the artist, it would mean that the painting was no longer whole. You are that brushstroke in the masterpiece of life. Without you, something is missing. Without you, the world is incomplete. You are not random. You are not placed here by chance. Every part of your life has meaning, even the moments that feel small. Even the times when you cannot see the full picture. Each morning is not just the start of another routine, another set of tasks to complete, another series of hours to pass. Each morning is a gift, a fresh opportunity to step into the purpose that has been placed in you. You may not always know exactly what that purpose looks like. It may not always be clear or obvious. It may not always feel grand or extraordinary. But purpose is not always about big moments or dramatic events. Sometimes, purpose is found in the smallest choices. The decision to be kind when no one else is. The willingness to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. The choice to love, to give, to encourage, to be present. Many people fall into the trap of believing that their purpose must be something visible, something the world recognizes and applauds. They measure their worth by success, by status, by comparison to others. But purpose is not about being seen. Purpose is about impact. And impact is often invisible in the moment. A single act of kindness, a single word of encouragement, a single decision to show up even when it feels pointless. These things can change a life, shape a destiny, create a ripple effect that stretches far beyond what you can see. You may never know the full impact of your presence, but that does not mean it isn't real. It is easy to believe that if you do not feel like you have a purpose, then you must not have one. Feelings, however, do not determine truth. There will be days when you wake up and do not feel important, days when you do not feel strong, days when you question why you are here at all. But purpose is not about how you feel. Purpose exists whether you recognize it or not. Your value is not based on how much you accomplish in a single day, nor is it determined by whether or not you understand the bigger picture. Even in your weakest moments, even in your most uncertain days, your presence in this world still matters. Every morning you have a choice. You can allow yourself to believe the lie that your life is random, that your existence is without meaning, that you are simply moving through time without significance. Or you can remind yourself of the truth. There is a reason you are here. Even if you do not yet see it, even if you do not yet understand it, even if it feels distant or unclear, the fact remains. Your life is part of a story that is still unfolding. Your presence is not a mistake. You were placed in this time, in this place, in this season, for a reason. You may not always see the purpose in the moment, but every day you wake up, you are given another chance to walk in it. Yesterday is gone. No matter what happened, no matter what mistakes were made, no matter what burdens were carried, it no longer has power over today unless you allow it to. The past, with all its regrets, failures, and missed opportunities, often tries to follow you into the present, whispering reminders of what you should have done differently, where you fell short, and why you are not enough. But those whispers are not the truth. The truth is that each new day is an opportunity to begin again, to step forward unchained by what came before. It is human nature to dwell on the past. The mind replays moments that cannot be changed, analyzing them over and over, hoping that somehow, by thinking about them long enough, a different outcome will appear. But it never does. The past remains unchanged, and the only thing that can be altered is the way you allow it to affect you now. Many people live as if they are trapped by their own history, as if their mistakes, disappointments, and failures have built a cage around them, preventing them from moving forward. They define themselves by who they were rather than who they can become. They carry the weight of guilt, shame, or regret as if it were a permanent part of their identity. But that is not the way life was meant to be lived. No one is meant to be a prisoner of yesterday. Every morning brings with it the possibility of renewal, a fresh beginning, untarnished by what came before. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. Growth is always possible, change is always within reach, and grace is always available. It does not matter how many times you have failed, how many wrong turns you have taken, or how deeply you believe that your past defines you. It does not. The past is a chapter that has already been written, but today is a blank page waiting to be filled. There is a reason that the sun rises anew every day. It is a reminder that life moves forward, that time does not stand still, and that each day is a chance to write a new story. The seasons change, the tides rise and fall, the earth continues to spin, and in the same way, you are meant to keep moving forward. To remain stuck in the past is to fight against the very nature of life itself. It is to hold on to something that no longer exists, allowing it to shape a present that deserves to be lived fully. Many people hesitate to let go of their past because they believe that doing so means denying what happened. They think that if they stop carrying the weight of their mistakes, they are ignoring their responsibility or pretending that those things did not matter. But releasing the past does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending that pain did not happen or that failures were insignificant. It simply means recognizing that the past is no longer a place you live. It is something you have walked through, something that has shaped you, something that has taught you, but it is not your home. Lessons can be learned from yesterday, wisdom can be gained, and memories can be cherished, but none of these things should hold you captive. If you allow the past to define you, you will miss the opportunities of today. If you let regret consume you, you will never step into the future that is waiting for you. If you continue to see yourself only as who you were, you will never become who you are meant to be. The most dangerous thing about dwelling on the past is that it steals the present. Time is precious, and every moment spent reliving what cannot be changed is a moment that could have been used to build something new. The mind is powerful, and what you focus on shapes the direction of your life. If your attention is always on what has already happened, you will find yourself walking in circles, unable to move forward. But if you shift your focus to today, to the opportunities in front of you, to the possibilities that exist right now, everything changes. Regret and guilt have a way of making people believe that they are unworthy of a fresh start. They whisper that the past disqualifies them, that the mistakes were too great, that the damage was too deep. But no one is beyond redemption. No one is beyond the ability to start again. The past does not get to dictate the future unless you allow it to. Every sunrise is an invitation to leave behind what was and embrace what is. It is a reminder that the story is not over, that mistakes do not define a person, and that transformation is always possible. There will always be things in the past that could have been different. There will always be moments that, if given the chance, you might choose to change, but dwelling on those things will never alter them. What has already happened is beyond your control, but what you do today is in your hands. The power to move forward exists in the present, and the only way to truly live is to let go of what no longer serves you. Every morning, before the world rushes in with its distractions, expectations, and demands, there is a truth that must be spoken. You have a purpose, and you are here for a reason. This day is not an accident. You did not wake up just to go through the motions, to simply exist without direction. You were placed in this moment, in this time, with a calling that is uniquely yours. Yet so many people wake up feeling lost, unsure of why they are here or what they are meant to do. The weight of routine, the pressures of daily life, and the constant noise of the world make it easy to forget that there is meaning woven into every day. It is easy to believe that purpose belongs only to those who achieve great things in the eyes of the world, to those with titles, influence, or grand accomplishments. But that is not the truth. Purpose is not measured by the size of what you do, but by the significance of why you do it. Each person is given a purpose, a reason for being, a mission that is not random. That mission does not always come with clarity at first. Sometimes it is revealed in small steps, in ordinary moments that later prove to be extraordinary. A conversation that changes someone's perspective, an act of kindness that shifts the course of another person's day, a simple decision to keep moving forward when everything seems difficult. These moments are not insignificant. They are part of something bigger, something unfolding beyond what the eye can see. The problem is that many people search for purpose in the wrong places. They look for it in success, in status, in the approval of others. They believe that if they reach a certain level, achieve a particular goal, or gain recognition, then they will finally feel fulfilled. But purpose is not found in external validation. It is not something to be earned. It is something to be lived. It is already within you, waiting to be embraced. It is not about what you accomplish in the eyes of the world, but about the impact you leave behind, whether seen or unseen. Some people struggle to believe they have a purpose because their lives do not look the way they expected. They compare themselves to others, measuring their worth against someone else's journey. They see others thriving, succeeding, achieving, while they feel as if they are standing still. But purpose is not about comparison. It is not about doing what someone else is doing. It is about walking your own path, fulfilling what has been placed in you to do. No two callings are the same, and no life is without meaning. There will be times when purpose feels distant, when it seems unclear or hidden. In those moments, doubt creeps in, whispering that you are aimless, that your life lacks direction. But purpose is not always revealed in a single moment of clarity. Sometimes it is uncovered through the act of living, through faithfulness in small things, through persistence in the face of uncertainty. Even when you do not see the full picture, you must trust that it is being painted. Each morning, you are given a new assignment. Some days that assignment may be clear. Other days it may simply be to show up, to be present, to do the next right thing. But whether or not you recognize it in the moment, purpose is always at work. It is present in the relationships you nurture, in the love you give, in the challenges you overcome. It is found in the moments when you choose faith over fear, hope over despair, perseverance over quitting. The greatest mistake is believing that purpose is something that will arrive one day, as if it is a destination to be reached. Purpose is not in some distant future. It is in the choices you make today. It is in how you show up, how you respond to challenges, how you pour into the people around you. It is in the lessons you learn, the growth you embrace, the way you carry yourself through both victories and struggles. Even in seasons where nothing seems to make sense, where progress feels slow, where direction is unclear, purpose is still there. It is working in ways unseen, preparing you for what is ahead. Every experience, every hardship, every success and failure is shaping you, refining you, and positioning you for what is to come. Waking up each morning is proof that you are still needed. If your work were done, you would not be here. The fact that you are breathing, that you are standing in this moment, means that there is still something for you to do, something only you can contribute. Whether or not you see it yet, whether or not you fully understand it, the truth remains. You are here with a purpose. and that purpose is unfolding with every step you take. Life is filled with countless voices, each trying to shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. Some voices come from others, family, friends, society, telling you who they think you are, what they believe you can or cannot do. Some voices come from past experiences, reminding you of your failures, your mistakes, the moments where you fell short. But the most powerful voice of all is the one inside your own mind, the one that speaks the loudest in the quiet moments, when no one else is around. That voice has the power to build you up or tear you down, to push you forward or hold you back, to lead you toward growth or trap you in fear. And every morning, you must make a choice about what that voice will say. It is easy to wake up and let negativity take over. The human mind is naturally drawn to doubt, to worry, to the fear of what could go wrong. It replays past mistakes, predicts worst-case scenarios, and convinces you that you are not enough. Before you even step out of bed, your thoughts may already be working against you, filling you with hesitation, with reasons to stay small, with reminders of every failure, every insecurity, every reason why today will be just like yesterday. But those thoughts are not the truth. They are the result of conditioning, of fear, of a lifetime of experiences that have tried to shape you into something less than what you were meant to be. You have the power to choose a different voice. You have the ability to change the narrative, to speak words that empower rather than words that weaken. The mind listens to what you tell it. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not capable, that you are not worthy, that you will fail, your mind will believe it, and you will live according to that belief. But if you wake up and speak words of strength, of confidence, of purpose, you will begin to see yourself differently. Instead of being held back by fear, you will step forward with courage. Instead of being weighed down by the past, you will move with the freedom of someone who knows they are not defined by what was, but by what can be. This is not about empty positivity. It is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. Life is difficult and struggles are real, but the way you speak to yourself determines how you face those struggles. A person who believes in their own strength will find a way through obstacles that seem impossible to someone who doubts themselves. A person who speaks hope into their own life will see opportunities where others only see failure. The words you choose each morning set the foundation for how you will walk through the day. Some may argue that words alone do not change anything, that simply telling yourself something does not make it true. But words shape perception, and perception shapes reality. If a person believes they are powerless, they will act in ways that reinforce that belief. They will shrink back from challenges, avoid risks, and settle for less than they are capable of. But when a person believes they are strong, when they tell themselves that they are capable, they begin to act in alignment with that belief. They take steps forward, even when they are afraid. They try again, even after failure. They hold their head high, even when circumstances try to push them down. Speaking life over yourself each morning is a discipline. It is not always easy. Some days it will feel unnatural. Some days the voice of doubt will try to be louder. But just as the body becomes stronger through consistent exercise, the mind becomes stronger through consistent practice. The more you replace negative thoughts with words of strength, the more your mind will default to those thoughts. Instead of waking up feeling defeated before the day has even begun, you will wake up with the mindset of someone who knows they are meant to move forward, to grow, to overcome. There is power in the way you speak to yourself. The world will always have opinions, and circumstances will always shift. But the voice you allow to dominate your mind each morning is what will shape your reality. Choose words that build, words that strengthen, words that remind you of who you truly are. The way you begin the day determines how you live it, and how you live each day determines the life you create. There is a battle that begins the moment you open your eyes each morning. It is the battle of control, the battle for your thoughts, your focus, your energy. From the instant you wake up, countless distractions are waiting to claim your attention. Your phone buzzes with notifications. The world pulls you in 100 directions. Responsibilities demand your time, and worries from yesterday attempt to creep into today. In the midst of all this noise, there is one truth you must remind yourself of each morning. You cannot control everything, but you can control where you place your focus. Life is unpredictable. Some days bring joy and others bring hardship. Unexpected challenges arise. Plans fall apart and circumstances shift in ways that are beyond your control. Many people spend their lives fighting against this reality, exhausting themselves in an attempt to control things that were never theirs to control. They live in frustration, constantly reacting to the chaos around them, allowing outside circumstances to dictate their inner state. But the most powerful people in the world are not those who control everything around them. They are those who have mastered control over themselves. What you focus on shapes your entire experience. If you focus on problems, your mind will be filled with stress. If you focus on lack, you will always feel as though you are missing something. If you focus on everything that is wrong, you will begin to believe that nothing is right. But if you shift your focus, everything changes. It does not mean ignoring reality or pretending difficulties do not exist. It means choosing to direct your energy toward what you can control rather than being consumed by what you cannot. You cannot control what other people say or do, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control the setbacks that come your way, but you can control whether you let them defeat you or push you to grow. You cannot control every event that happens in your life, but you can control the meaning you give to those events. Two people can face the same storm. One crumbles under its weight while the other rises stronger. The difference is not in the storm itself, but in what each person chooses to focus on. Your focus determines your actions. A person who focuses on obstacles sees only reasons to give up. A person who focuses on possibilities sees a way through. A person who focuses on failure stays stuck in the past. A person who focuses on growth sees every failure as a lesson. Your energy flows where your attention goes. If you spend your days dwelling on negativity, on things you cannot change, on fears that may never come to pass, you are feeding the very things that drain you. But if you wake up each morning and intentionally set your focus on what is good, on what is possible, on what you can control, you begin to reclaim your power. This is why your morning matters. It is not just another part of your day, it is the foundation on which everything else is built. If you begin your day in a reactive state, checking messages, scrolling through bad news, or immediately stressing over everything that needs to be done, you are already giving control away. But if you start with intention, if you take a moment to center your mind, to remind yourself of where your focus should be, you take back control. Some people believe that their emotions and thoughts are automatic, that they have no say in how they feel or what they think about. But that is not true. Thoughts will always come, emotions will always rise, but you have the power to decide which ones you hold on to. You do not have to entertain every fear that enters your mind. You do not have to dwell on every worry that tries to settle in your heart. You do not have to let negativity dictate your mood or your choices. You can choose to redirect your focus. When challenges arise, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift your focus and ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of dwelling on what went wrong yesterday, focus on what you can do right today. Instead of worrying about the future, focus on the actions you can take in the present. Instead of allowing frustration to control you, focus on gratitude, on the things you do have, the progress you have made, the opportunities still ahead. Every morning you are given a choice. You can allow distractions, negativity, and circumstances to control your day, or you can take control of your focus and direct it toward what truly matters. The world will always try to pull you in different directions, but your mind belongs to you. Where you place your focus will shape your experience, your decisions, and ultimately, your life. In a world that constantly demands more, the pressure to do it all can feel overwhelming. Each day comes with its own list of tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities, all competing for your time and energy. It's easy to feel as if you are constantly running, always striving to check off another item on the to-do list. And yet, there is never enough time to get everything done. In this relentless cycle, it is important to remind yourself every morning, it is okay to rest. This truth is often overlooked in a society that values productivity above all else. But the importance of rest cannot be overstated. Rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity, and it is something that must be intentionally prioritized in order to live a balanced and fulfilling life. The myth of constant busyness has become a badge of honor in many cultures, with people often measuring their worth by how much they can accomplish in a day. The more you do, the more you are seen as capable, successful, or valuable. But this mentality can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a disconnection from what truly matters. It is important to recognize that your worth is not determined by how much you do, but by who you are. You are not a machine designed to work endlessly without pause. You are a human being with physical, emotional, and spiritual needs that must be tended to. Rest is not simply about sleep, although sleep is a vital component of overall well-being. Rest is about giving yourself permission to pause, to step back, and to recharge, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. When you are constantly on the go, your mind and body never have the chance to recover. You become depleted, and your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and engage with others diminishes. In order to be fully present and effective, you must first take the time to rest and replenish yourself. It can be easy to feel guilty about taking breaks, especially when there is always something else that could be done. There is often a voice inside that tells you that resting is a waste of time, that you should always be busy, always striving, always achieving. But this is not true. Rest is an investment in your future productivity and well-being. When you take the time to rest, you are actually refueling your body, mind, and spirit so that you can give your best when you are working. Rest allows you to recharge and refocus, enabling you to return to your tasks with greater energy, creativity, and clarity. Without rest, you burn out, lose your motivation, and begin to work at less than your full potential. Rest also provides the space for reflection. In the hustle of daily life, it is easy to get caught up in the momentum of activity and forget to check in with yourself. Rest allows you to pause, reflect on your journey, and reassess your goals and priorities. It creates the space to reconnect with your inner self, to hear your own thoughts without the constant noise of external demands. When you give yourself permission to rest, you create room for personal growth, for self-awareness, and for the ability to realign with your purpose. In the busyness of life, rest can often feel like an indulgence, something that only the fortunate few can afford. However, rest is not about escaping responsibilities or avoiding work. It is about acknowledging that you are human and need time to recover. It is not a weakness to rest, nor is it an indication that you are not doing enough. On the contrary, recognizing the need for rest is a sign of strength and wisdom. It shows that you understand your limits and are willing to honor them so that you can continue to show up as your best self in the long run. The pace of life will never slow down on its own. There will always be another project, another deadline, another responsibility waiting for you. But you must set boundaries, prioritize your well-being, and schedule time to rest. This may mean saying no to certain things in order to preserve your energy. It may mean stepping away from work for a few hours or taking a walk to clear your mind. Rest does not have to be long or elaborate. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, enjoying a quiet moment, or getting a good night's sleep. What matters is that you create space for rest in your day, and that you honor the importance of taking care of yourself. Each morning, as you wake up and face the demands of the day, remind yourself that it is okay to rest. You do not need to prove your worth by how much you accomplish in a day. Your value is inherent, not tied to your productivity. Take time to pause, breathe, and recharge, knowing that you are honoring your body, mind, and spirit. By doing so, you are ensuring that you can continue to give your best to the world around you without depleting yourself. Rest is not just a break from work. It is an essential part of living a balanced, healthy, and meaningful life. Every morning is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to set the tone for the day ahead. The words you speak to yourself shape your mindset, your actions, and ultimately, your life. You must remind yourself that you are here for a purpose, not by accident, but by divine design. Your presence in this world carries meaning, and even when the path is unclear, trust that each step you take is leading you towards something greater. You must take control of your thoughts, because your mind is the battleground where victories and defeats are determined before the day even begins. Speak life, speak truth, speak strength into your own soul. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond, where you place your focus, and what you allow to take root in your heart. Each morning, you must give yourself permission to rest, to breathe, to recharge. You are not defined by how much you do, but by the presence and purpose you bring to what you do. Do not rush through life so fast that you forget to live it. The way you start your day determines how you will walk through it. If you begin with faith, with purpose, with strength, and with gratitude, you will move forward with confidence no matter what comes your way. Each morning, you hold the power to set the foundation for a life that is not just lived, but lived with meaning, intention, and fulfillment.